our money. I had similar experiences with a supply company that I used to run about 6 years ago that sold screen parts online.
Okay,
My listings would advertise that we would express you a new part with a return label for the bad part inside if you ever received a defective part. This was in stark contrast to our competitor, who would require that you pay shipping both ways and arrange it for yourself. I advertised real phone technical support, while the competitor had no number. I advertised grade A plus parts, while the competitor advertised refunds only if you had 15 or more stuck pixels, which ain't exactly grade A. And yet, sales would go into the garbage unless I priced myself 3% or more under those competitors. We had many phone calls and many emails from people that would ask about price and lower price and match price with this person. And we would say, well, we cost 3 to 5% more, but you get free tech support. This screen is pre-tested. If you need an RMA, it's instant. And then you're not going to get something that has stuck pixels because we paid extra for the grade A parts. And yet still, nobody was having it. People, not I, the customers decided that the additional value that we offered was not worth paying the additional 3 to 5% for. The customers decided that, not me as the employer. And the same is true of employee wages. Many customers simply do not care. They want value as consumers for themselves first. Now, the argument that typically follows when I say this is that if minimum wage were higher, more people would have more money, and they wouldn't mind paying. Yes, Lewis, you're saying that it is the customer that decides that they don't want to pay the extra, but if all these customers were making a little more money, maybe they wouldn't care. This is an interesting hypothesis, the idea that if the customer had more money, maybe they wouldn't mind spending the extra $15. And this is where I will interject my experience dealing with customers over the past 8 years. Manhattan and Brooklyn are areas with great income disparity. One customer may walk in barely able to afford the clothes in their back, and another rolls up into the store, parking in the bus lane in their Lamborghini, so wealthy as to believe they're above all rules, looking like a big spender. And here's what I've noticed consistently over the past 8 years. The reaction is always the same. The individuals that bring up the price of the person next door that's $10 or $15 less with the shit part and the aide making $7 or $9 an hour also wince to the argument that we use good parts from a reputable vendor and charge more to support paying a living wage. People dressed in Prada, people wearing nice jewelry, people with expensive hairdos and fancy shoes who have good jobs, who are clearly well-to-do, have almost the exact same reaction as people who It is this consumer mindset to get as much value as you can for your money, and it's this consumer mindset that I'm willing to spend more money for all sorts of crappy features. I'm willing to spend more for the leather seat. I'm willing to spend more if you just put an L on the car instead of a T. I'm willing to spend more for all this shit that doesn't matter. But yeah, I need to at least be being fed the lie that I'm getting more value. People are, regardless of wealth, very often, they're just not willing to spend more money if it's the employee that's getting more value rather than the consumer. The tendency of people to always look for the value they receive, opposed to the values others receive in their transaction, is a tendency I have noticed across the political spectrum, across class, across sexual orientations, across racial or religious lines. Employers are going to pay out what others pay in. We can only pay out what others are willing to pay in. Now, this is one of the reasons in business that we we don't bother trying with no fix, no fee on liquid damage phones to be used as a phone again, where you're adding up the cost of a screen and a charging port and a battery and flex cables.
Actually, it's safe for me to go for this camp because Uber is somewhere here, so if I go on this side, he might kill me.
Chance that all of this doesn't work and you just wasted your time, and the times that worked, having to subsidize the times where you don't get paid, all while trying to beat Apple's $200 to $249 out of warranty swap price. I am not going to try to make that work while simultaneously having the goal in mind of paying people a somewhat respectable wage. So we primarily focus on data recovery, which is a service that people are willing to pay $300 to $450 for without a problem. Some people are not, but those individuals aren't going next door to the cheapskate.
If Uber is still in my jungle taking my shit, I
pays
can take
$9 an hour. Is not going to have somebody on staff that knows
Can I use this
I don't offer many services because I don't want to run a business that pays people $7 or $9 an hour or anything close to the minimum wage. And to be clear, I'm not knocking those that do pay minimum wage, as those businesses fulfill an essential role in society. That structure allows the offering of services or products with profit margins too low to be offered by my business at the local small business level. It also gives me an option to refer people to. Customers that want services that need to be offered at costs that I cannot make work.
Then let's go home and buy
But it doesn't mean I want to be one of those businesses that pays $9 an hour. I can live with saying no to people more than I can asking someone to provide skilled labor, quality work with pride for $8 or $9 an hour. Another argument that I've heard often is that greed keeps wages artificially low. I've heard many counter-arguments similar to mine from others engaged in different businesses. I'm not looking to speak for all, nor will I suggest that greed does not exist. I do feel it necessary, however, to point out how greed often works counterproductively to the narrative that greed can only lower wages. This was a great way to meet unrealized talent for my own budding repair business. And as Dale Doughton says in this book, The Gifted Boss, most people you want to hire never make it to the job market. These people are plucked before they make it to unemployed by people who know that they exist and that they're good at their job. So if I know you and you say, my job's kind of sucking, or I think my boss is going to can me, I can say, if I know you're good at your job, hey, you want to come work for me? Or hey, my best friend needs somebody who does what you do. If I know that you're good at your job, if you have a network of people around you who know that you're good at your job, you will get plucked before you make it to unemployed, before you make it to Craigslist and Monster and dealing with headhunters, you will get a new job. So you should always be talking to people to learn. You should always be expanding your network if it makes sense to do so. But onto my story.
I honestly thought I would be stronger.
I always send by a technician to pick up parts. This was a store that I knew had a miserable owner, and this shop was making considerably higher revenue than I was.
Overestimated my
to this guy, realized that this technician made a salary that per hour came out to less money than what I was paying someone to pack boxes. I heard what he did. I heard what services were being offered that I wasn't offering, and how he organized the place to make these services viable to offer. And I wanted that for my business. That was greed on my part. I felt greed to have the success of this other business, which had something that I did not have. So this greed led me to make him a job offer. I offered him the same pay that he made for working about half the hours he worked. I offered him unlimited time off as he needed to take care of his newborn baby should anything come up, with bonuses and raises on the horizon on a specific schedule. He decided to come over, and we made this a better business together. If someone sees a and this is what I want to get across. If I see someone making $13 an hour who produces $1,000 a day, my greed may say, hey, I want that revenue stream of $1,000 a day. Why don't I have that revenue stream? How do I get that guy to come over here and bring that $1,000? Tell me how to make that happen. So I'll take that $13 an hour person that's producing $1,000 a day, and then I will happily offer that person something like $23 an hour to do that for me, because that still means that I get to make, after all the taxes, that's still $800 a day of profit for me. So I'll go for it. Now, is it entirely possible that this level of greed will result in overbidding for talent and make a company less competitive by virtue of salaries that are too high? Of course. This level of, people are constantly over-speculating on what talent is worth, what real estate is worth. People's greed often gets the best of them when they bid too much. Whether it's bidding too much for something on eBay or buying a stock that's been pumped that they think is going to make them rich. People are constantly overbidding for talent, and it'll make a company less competitive by virtue of salaries that are too.
Yeah, no thanks. I guess you didn't have a flash either. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute everybody. They seem to be quite toxic. So let's do that, and that. Oh yeah, I can buy Iron Dagger. Wait, did I die with buff? No. Run, Jonas, run! Go home, buy your jungle item. But also, these camps should respawn quite soon, right? Like, or like, they might. Like, I don't know when he took them, but yeah, I don't wanna go near that woman. Dragon is in 2 minutes. Okay, let's get this crab. Ah. Ooh. Actually, she can use it. I want to go for the dragon. Clear down.
Shut down.
So I already see. Yeah, it's not hard. Well, there shouldn't be any minions here because Malzahar is pushed up there.
An enemy has been slain.
Do you wanna fight soon? Like, are you gonna room? Any day, like, right? Cool. What? Can I take this in time? Maybe.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let us begin. A true master is an eternal student.
We're just probably doing this camp here.
The focused mind can hear.
An ally has been slain.
Let your pride blind you. Doubt is the greatest enemy. A true master is an eternal student.
Enemy has been slain.
Never await victory.
Ooh.
I will show you the path.
Oh, I got 2 flashes. I got her flash as well.
Form before strength.
Maybe I should get Merc Treads to get rid of stuns. Stun. Yeah, probably I should actually do that.
Let us begin.
I think you got a little bit too deep in, sister. Maybe not. I should be careful. Right, there is a tip here.
A true master is an eternal student.
No. No fucking flash for understand. Yeah, their physical damage is the most dangerous one actually, so yeah. Crit.
Anger gives motivation without.
Yeah, Dragon, yeah, we don't, it's total dark this side, and our team is not close to it, so going there will be very dangerous. But yeah, now I have Rage Blade. I had it before, but now I have Rage Blade plus some tankiness. So maybe it's a bit pushed up. Three. ADC, ADC is there. Yeah. And from probably 5 guys there. Cannot tower dive order. Yeah. Potentially. Oh, actually. I have to run. I don't have my Rage Blade stacks.
Lives on.
Actually, I want to be pushed up still.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Shut down. has been slain.
Defend
Double kill.
anger. Gives motivation.
Shut down.
Yeah, so I don't know where anyone else of them are, so
Begin.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
The focused mind can pierce through stone. Form before strength. Do not let your pride
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
show you the path.
it was good he could TP up top lane.
Lives on.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, we should team fight. We have better team fight when the mounts are hard.
I will show you the path. The focused mind can pierce through stone.
An ally has been slain.
A true master is in pursuit.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
In me, Mutu lives on. Do not let your pride guide you. Form before strength. Let us begin. Motivation without doubt is the greatest enemy. Motivation without purpose.
Yeah, all the other star stage is CC for me.
I will show you the path. A true
as well as it could. Okay. Who's our team is doing damage? Yeah. I think it's because we don't have an ADC. I'm not sure.
Form before strength. This will be
An enemy has been slain.
focused mind can pierce through stone. Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Found.
A true master is an eternal student. Anger gives motivation without purpose.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
What? Okay, we won. Wow. Yeah, I carried that game. What? I'm meeting platinum players now. Wait, what? The enemy had 2 platinum players and we have only silver players and 1 gold. What the fuck? I have 3 platinum players, holy shit. Well, I achieved with my goal. Look at the statistics. I only died 4 times, least in my team, least in the whole game. And still, I got the most kill in my team and almost the most kill in the game. And look at the gold. I also got the most gold in my team, so I got strong, got farm, experienced, fucked up the enemies. Let's see the damage. Yeah, I don't have the most damage. Most D seldom has, because you don't have any poke, you don't have a range attack, no range damage, so it's hard to, you know, constantly over time do a lot of damage as Most D. You know, just like Udyr, right? Udyr is also a melee champion. Not it doesn't have the same late game potential as Master Yi, right? But yeah, still, just look at the damage differential. And still, look, you know, in his team he had the least damage. In my team, I didn't have the least damage, but I didn't have the most either. That's average.
Too high. This cycle will reset